everyone. I think we're live. Looks like we're doing good here. Give me 1 second. Just double check a million questions coming in. I sent a request out to bring two hosts on here. I'm trying to see if it'll work. It's a new thing for Facebook Live. I don't know exactly how it's working or what it is, but we will try and see if we can get it to work. That being said, let's see if I can. There we go. All right. I sent a request out to bring two. All right, so basically we're up and running. But I don't see the thing to add these hosts, so if the two hosts are there, just click on the page. Hopefully I'll have an app here, something to click you guys on if I wanted to explain to me on the dashboard. But without that, we're going to continue on. One comment. All right. All right, guys. So basically, I'm just going to start with the questions that I have here. I have my phone here as well, so if it doesn't pop up here, it usually comes in on my phone a little quicker. So feel free to send some questions in. I got a bunch that already came in via email, and I figure we'll start off with these. If I can get these two hosts to join in, we'll hopefully figure it out as we go along with this. I'm not exactly sure on how this works. I'm not. What does it say? Hold on, guys. I don't see on here anywhere. Enhance, split screen. All right. Well, let's go with the questions, guys. I don't know for sure what I'm doing here with this. I'm not a computer savvy guy. I figure this stuff as I go. I'll make it work. All right. The first and foremost thing, I want to get a couple things out of the way that were questions to me that were brought up, which I think is very important. I had a lot of you guys touching basically about your ballots. Some of you guys in the last couple of years, some were city carpenters, you never received your ballots. This has been a big problem. I need you to contact your local. I'm going to post a picture on my Facebook page, an address of who to contact. It'll be Glenn McGordy. They tell you that you don't get your ballot, but listen, if you haven't got your ballot in a couple of years, please email me. I'm going to put my information up on the page, up on the post on the board. Those of you who have my number, you're going to contact me. We need to get a list of these people. We need to get in contact with the district council. We need to get in contact with the local. We need to make sure you're getting your ballot in the mail. The only thing we're going to have change in this situation, we're wasting our time here, guys. We could talk about mergers. We could talk about everything else. You guys have to understand. We got to get the vote out. We need new management. All right. We need new people running the show. It's not working down there. Paul's had his chance. He's been there a long time. No disrespect for Paul. I hear you have COVID. I heard you're not feeling good. All power to you. Listen, I wish the best for you. Hope you get over whatever you have. I'm feeling good for you, all right? But with that being said, they talk about who's got what credentials, right? Well, to me, the skyline of Manhattan is their credentials. It's their resume. It's out there, guys. We got 70-story buildings in every single borough. Every single borough in this city is going up non-union. That wasn't happening when I started in this business, okay? We have a tremendous weakness in people that are out there. You got Eamon Carey, who's your jurisdictional director, who's handing the work off to 731 and 1010 laborers. We need someone in that position fighting to keep our work, not give away our work. Eamon was a business agent. He was a half-assed business agent at best. He was an organizer. He cried his eyes out. He wanted to get back into being a business agent. They wouldn't let him. Paul's not too fucking happy with Eamon anyway. Most guys that work at the council know that. Sheehy backed him up because John wanted him. He said, I'll train Sheehy or I'm not training anyone to be the jurisdictional rep. So there you go. Eamon got the job. The few outcomes that some of my friends have had, including Mike Biella, we sent some work in that was carpenter's work. He gives it to 1010 laborers. Everything belongs to 1010 laborers. Before I knew it was always our work. Now we just give it away. To go get this work back, guys, we're going to have to sit down with every association out there. Each individual company, each association. And We have to find out what their major concerns are. We have to focus on that, and we got to work with these other trades. What we're doing now is not working, okay? You guys can all admit that it's not working. We're losing the work. We don't have the drive at the council. And when you got a dictator who's micromanaging things, we've all worked for people like that. When you got to hire the right people to do their job and let them do their job, all right? That's a big problem here, okay? This job was not designed for everyone. Everyone that keeps getting jobs needs councils throughout the country. You see it. Someone's niece, someone's nephew. Listen, I'm not saying that person's a bad person, but we got to get the most qualified person for that job. And sometimes, qualifications come in different ways. Like, you might be great on paper, but you might not have the right personality for it. You need people that are going to get out in the street, walk through the trenches, get out and talk to the membership, talk to the contractors, deal with these supervisors, deal with these foremen. Look, the deals that I'm cutting right now, the things that I'm trying to do, trying to get high-end members, super jobs, major contractors in the city. This is huge for us, guys. If we can pull this off and knock these jobs down, this is going to give us the fourth step to get in the job, to make sure that we're not fighting with the St. Hogs someone. We're not fighting with the 10 members. We have a guy in the driver's seat, sitting at the front step, who put 50 years in the business. Those are the guys who want these positions. And I'm an advocate about that. A lot of people that are there, Paul was never an organizer. He never organized work. He was kind of put in there, Attilio gave him the job, he got put in there. Listen, he was grandfathered in, just like Anthony Mateo. All these guys, they all got put in there by somebody. They got put in there. When you get guys that are just ass kisses and they got jobs, Eamon Carey, they used to make fun of him in the council, my local. They said he would suck the ball sack off you for a job, right? I think if John Greeny's on here, he'll verify that. He'll give the thumbs up. John, give the thumbs up on that, because I know you were one of the guys back in the day that used to say that about him. And listen, guys told me stories about him. Guys told me stories about Steve McGinnis. But you know what? I always let it play out. And you know what? The truth is, sometimes people end up becoming exactly what you were told about them. But you know what? Listen, I live and learn. It doesn't bother me. I never thought too highly of the guy anyway. I get it. It's what got him to where he is today. I watch guys shining people's golf clubs and kissing ass to get what they want. That's not my cup of tea. But you know what? If people can get what they got and they're going to benefit and they're going to walk away with 3 pensions out of the deal, who's the idiot? Probably me, not them, right? They worked a better deal out than me. When you got the average member that's going to bust his ass and put 30, 35 years in the business, then he's lucky he walks away with $6,000 a month. And you got these business agent organizers walking away with almost $20,000 a month. Those are crazy numbers, guys. And something else to think to yourself, they don't always tell us the truth, They had these 3 pensions. They had the officers' pension to council. Kept very quiet to the average rank and file member. We never knew about it. They set themselves up with these pension plans where you take a reduction in your pension, and then if you want to give your medical, your spouse the pension money after you leave. Like one guy told me he had to take a cut for $1,200. These guys had it set up for them for a long time where they didn't take a cut. They got their full pension, and if they passed away, their wife got their full pension. But we were getting the backs. They were getting the Cadillac plan, and we were getting the fucking IKEA plan. And that's the problem, guys. You see, they don't want to tell you the truth, okay? They talk it. The word salad's big with these guys. They're great with the word salad. If you guys remember, we had a big discussion with Jim Murray, right? They talked about the consent decree, and it was going to be in the back pocket, and it was going to go on the shelf, and it was going here. They told you guys everything you needed to hear. You guys all remember. It was only a few months ago, guys, and I was telling you they were full of shit. And everyone's like, oh, Mike's lying, and they had the guys from 926 attacking me. You don't see these guys now because they're starting to realize this is real shit that they're doing. There's no merger. Mike's lying. He's lying. But now they're calling it consolidation. I got up at the meeting and discussed about the level care, and we're going to get into it. I got a huge fucking email from someone giving me the play-by-play. It's supposed to be going to the newspapers, and they're going to do a news article on this. It's huge. And I'm going to read you the article that got sent to me. This is actually going to be put in the papers. So I'll read it to you afterwards, because it's a big article, and I'll break it down for you. I'll give you the cliff notes, so we're not going to be here all night talking about this stuff. But the bottom line, guys, is they sell you one thing, and they think you guys are gullible to buy it. And I get it. Some members, they don't get online. They don't see these videos. And that's why I'm asking you guys, listen, when you get this video, I download it to YouTube. It's up to you guys to share it. It's up to you to let them know. Let them know that there's another voice out there. Let them know that there's somebody out there. I'm not doing this for an international pension. I'm not doing this for a pay raise. When I take that job as EST, my first line of business is to reduction of pay of everyone in that council, including myself, by 20%. I will cut across the board every single person in that council by 20%. And you got my word on it. I will cut everybody 20%. It is ridiculous that everyone down there takes a pay raise twice a year. They take their turn of the year thing, and then when our contract kicks in, they take that raise as well. These guys, you look at their numbers, 300,000, 250,000, and they're all getting double pensions in the deal. Guys, this is criminal what they're doing. Fucking criminal. And then they're going to get up and tell you, oh, this guy's not qualified, this not qualified. Look at the skyline of Manhattan, guys. Walk the city and tell me who's qualified. Because I'll tell you right now, guys, if I was in charge, it wouldn't look like that. That's for sure. I wouldn't have everyone on deck down at a grocery store that's been finished for a week, jumping around, picketing in front of there on a Friday. Absolutely not. It would be accountability. I don't need everyone sitting down in council. I want you guys at the council to do your job. But let me tell you something, guys. Remember one thing. McCarron's good at one thing, guys. Cutting people. And when this merger happens, and believe me, guys, it's a fucking merger. They're going to get rid of most of you. You're all going to be out of jobs. They're going to can you all. They're going to merge us with the Northeast Regional. And when they turn around and tell you guys, and I'm saying that they're going to sell the building, guys, I'm not saying they're going to sell the building. I am not saying we're selling the building. But I'll tell you one thing. We're giving away the power to the Northeast Regional Council, which means when we transfer that benefit money and that pension money up there, the pension money owns that building, which means those trustees will have the power to vote on anything, including selling that building. Guys, keep in mind, when they sold 257's building, right? When they sold that building belonged to the members of 257, right? The guys bought that building, they inherited, they bought it. Who got the resources, the money for it? The International. When they sell the 45 building, who gets the money? The International. So guys, remember, when they merge this council, that's why Paul's not telling you, oh, we're going to do the best thing. They want to put this into an index fund. It doesn't make any sense to me. We're 98% funded. It's very sketchy, guys. We'll get into the level care thing in a little bit. I talked about it. Eamon Carey went to the meeting, danced around it. He refused to answer the questions because he wanted to bring up Frank Spencer's name. But we're going to get into the article in a second. That'll help explain everything about it. Eamon, I hope you're watching. I hope you're watching. We got a lot to talk about, Eamon. So anyway, guys, they want to sit there and they want to talk about the building being sold. The building is an asset of the pension fund, okay? Who controls that, okay? The trustees and the EST. That's who controls it, okay? How am I going to stop it? If I'm the EST, it doesn't fucking happen. All those deals are off the fucking table. We're going to do a forensic audit on every single fund that we have. We are not doing a merger with anybody unless they do a forensic audit on everything they have. I know for a fact, I've given documents. There's 11 different funds throughout the Northeast region that were backed up under the American Care Act that was given out by Biden. I want to know how much was funded by them. What was their percentage rate before that money was entered? What was the changes involved to keep those things solvent? Are those numbers still at 70, 80% for the merger to happen? And what's keeping them funded besides us dumping our $9 billion worth of assets into it? That's a good question, guys. I want to know, are we coming in to float the boat? Are we the bailout? Because I'm not a life preserver for anyone else. Listen, guys, look across the country. They cut all these deals, all these business agents, all these reps. They all got a backward deal. They got an international pension. They got a double banger, guys. They got two reasons to worry about themselves and not worry about you. It's something to think about. And a lot of these guys can be bought and paid for. And it shows. It shows in the way they operate, and it shows in who they were. Because most of these guys would never make it in the real world. And you guys know that. You see it. They wouldn't make it out there. You took half these guys' shop stewards cards away, they wouldn't survive. We all know it. Listen, guys, I worked as a steward. I did it because it was the right thing to do. I didn't need it. And there's a lot of guys in here who tell me, I've been offered super jobs, I've been offered foreman jobs, safety manager jobs. I didn't need the union. The union needed me. That's the difference. I was here to make the union better. I didn't take, bro. I gave back to what I got in this business. But I'm a big believer in it's a give and take industry. And I'm doing this not for myself. I'm doing it for you guys, for my brothers and sisters out there. You know, when people say, the fake account out there, Mike Fleming, which is really bullshit accounts. Listen, there's a lot of fake book accounts, guys. There's a Bobby something, that's Eddie McWilliams. The Mike Oldenthal is Mike Carpenter. I think the Mike Fleming is either Mike Piccarello, could be Eddie McWilliams. It's one of those guys. I'm not exactly sure, but it's a fake account. And what they do is, guys, they've been doing it for years. Eddie's secretary used to make the accounts from Jerry Matthews. I got to look at an old email. Jerry gave me some information on who owned what accounts. But they set those up to play with you guys. So you guys, you know, they could kind of get you guys to change the situation and kind of get you guys to tweak to what the narrative so you can understand it the way they want you to do. They're planning on the fact that they can manipulate you. And that's what they do, guys. They manipulate you. That's what the game is about, okay? So we got to look past the manipulation and start asking questions back, because when it doesn't make sense, there's a reason why it doesn't make sense. And to me, guys, a merger, consolidation, doesn't make sense. We're 98% funded. Why would we get in bed with anybody? 55 and out, full medical. Paul wants to clap his hands and say he had something to do with it. He didn't, and he knows he didn't. Listen, he was there when the international came in. He was ready to fucking sell down the river. He was ready to go, okay, we'll move to 57, and they'll have to have 30 credits to get medical. You know, that's, you know, and a lot of guys go, oh, it doesn't matter to me. I don't care. And I'm a poorly bull. I'm a poorly guy. Listen, I don't care if you're a poorly guy or not. See, that's the thing with the selfishness in this business. You know, you don't look at what's good for you. You got to look what's good for everyone. And you know what? You're a hypocrite if you call yourself a brother and sister and you're worried about yourself. Because listen, I'm a single guy, guys. I have no kids. You know, my fiance makes a good living. I make a good living. The biggest expense I got in the world are these dogs over here. But I'll be fine. I'm gonna navigate it out. I'll figure it all out. You know, this is my last election. I said this. I'm done with this shit. This is to the point where either we gotta wake up and make it happen, or I can't pull you over the finish line, guys. I can only give you the best information I got. I can steer you in the right direction. Believe me, guys. I'll be out there. I'm gonna hound this through, and I'm not giving up. I'll roll with the punches. I'll deal with the bullshit along the way, because it's what's got to be done. Politics is dirty. I get it, but you know what? We have to worry about what's important, and we got to get past the finish line. So let's get back to some of these questions. So we talked about Jim Murray here and the stipulation only. What's changed? Or were they lying to us? Well, guys, what changed was, listen, the bottom line was they brought in Barbara Jones. Barbara Jones is there for one reason only. They hired all these former prosecutors, right, that like indicted people and put people away. Lisa Zumberg and Conboy and this new guy, Mack, he put away Sal and Johnny Cigars. They hire them, and the other guy goes to work for the International. So it's all scheming behind the scenes. Everyone's got a deal, right? They work these deals out, and now they turn around and they were able to work a deal out where they got the stipulation in order. They got, which is considered the consent decree. They got the pension fund and the benefit funds out from underneath it. So that gives them the power where they wouldn't have it a couple of years ago to move those funds, and McGordy or the federal monitor would now have no say in it. Now, when they talk about racketeering and everything's been good, listen, guys, a lot of dirty shit happened. You had people selling union cards that were going on. You had people, the shit that went down at the school with Dave and Paul, that's still in the courts. It's being pushed around and kicked around. A lot of political money out there. A lot of people pushing the narrative around. They bury it. It happened to both sides. This is the way the game is played. But a lot of non-disclosures, a lot of things that went on. You know, when Steve got let go, the information against Steve came out a year and a half before, but they buried it because they tried to save the narrative, and then they put Graham in there. It's all about saving the narrative. You know, they want to keep the ball rolling, and there's a lot of money involved in this, guys, and there's a lot of handshake deals and a lot of people willing to bury everything, keep it low profile so they could get past the next day, the next day, the next day. Eventually, this is all going to blow up on them. It happens all the time. You can only bury it so long, and eventually some news reporter gets a hold of it, or someone grabs it, and it comes too big. And when it's too big, they can't bury it enough. So my hope is that, listen, eventually, guys, this will snowball, and we'll get enough members out there, and we're going to get this thing pushing. We're going to get enough media coverage that we're going to blow this up, and we're going to have people asking real questions. And we're going to get to the judges. We're going to get that, guys. We got to keep pushing. We can't give up. Listen, we keep fighting until we can't fight no more, right? That's just the way it is. We got to keep fighting, all right? So the Verge leaves us vulnerable, right, to outside control, meaning how do we stop anything after the transfer of power? That's a great question, guys. How do we stop it? That is a great thing. Like I just said to you guys before, they hand this over. Paul doesn't know. He's going to look into it. He's going to look into it. Listen, guys, before he was saying there was no merger. Now he says it's a consolidation. Now, to use the word consolidation, stop using the word merger. His last video, merger. Oh, consolidation. They're afraid of the word merger. Listen, just be honest. Tell everyone you're going to fuck them. I mean, listen, be honest, guys. You're going to get fucked. They merged this fucking pension fund. There's too many people involved, and you don't have it. You're not at the table, guys. It's going to be trustees and these ESTs, and they're going to make the decisions. They're going to make decisions about your medical. They're going to make the decisions about your building. They're going to make the decisions about your training schools, and all this money's going to be pulled together. And the problem is, guys, a lot of people outside New York are going to have a say on what we built. And that bothers me, and it should bother you, right? Would you turn around right now and would you give everyone online access to your bank account? I don't think so. Do we trust everybody that much? They're all our friends, but I don't know if I give everyone access to my checking account, you know? But we get, again, someone talks about the 80-story buildings going up in the city, right? What else we got here? Oh, the politicians, right? Everyone's asking about the politicians, right? What about the work with the politicians? Listen, guys, I'm great with working with politicians. I talk to them all. I grew up right down the block. My father was very good friends with Andy Cuomo, actually married Cuomo, his father. I was in his house. I knew Matilda Cuomo as a kid. I got pictures around my house with me with Matilda Cuomo and Jackie Onassis when I was a kid. My parents and grandparents very big with the Democratic Party. When I got in the union, I was with a lot of the big shot guys. I met Ted Kennedy. I met all the big players, guys. But I tell you, the biggest and the best. I met them all, right? I got pictures with Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton back in the day when they were young, like when I was young. When I learned about a lot of the stuff, they play both sides of it. I watch Hillary tell one speech of one thing and another speech of the other when the developers are there. That's the part that scares me. Listen, these politicians, they're not the answer, guys. They're not going to get us to work. They're there. They're going to tell us what we need to hear, and they're going to treat us like a mushroom, right? They're going to keep us in the dark and keep shoveling shit on us. We can't contribute half the money that these developers charge. That's why Adam was bought and paid for, because we're limited to what we can give them. And when these other guys have deep pockets, and I learned that from my friends that do non-union work. A lot of these supers and contractors and GCs, a lot of kickback money in non-union. You don't see the kickback money much in union work. Non-union work, a lot of kickback money. So that's what happened in the housing authority. They would hire these subcontractors because they can get kickbacks. It was in the paper. They indicted like 80 people. So it's the same type of concept, right? There's money to be made there, so there's always going to be something. So with the politicians, look, it's great to have confidence in people and get the right people in them, but we can't count on them. Like I said in the beginning of my conversation, I think we need to work with our association and our contractors. We need to have major meetings. We need to have Zoom meetings and sit down with our general foreman and supers, right? And our carpenter stewards. We need to have meetings with these guys. These are the guys that are on the ground. These are guys that understand the field. Listen, some great guys out there, guys. We gotta figure out how do we get the market, right? How do we get to it? Like I've been telling you guys at the residential market, there's nothing good I can tell you about it. These income houses that we're dealing with, we got to get the liberal agenda out of our minds, okay? We have these contractors. We're going to work with these contractors. Guys, we're working with these developers. A lot of these Irish contractors that are out there, guys. Listen, I'm Irish myself. Don't want to knock them on the head, but it's the truth. They're loaded up with Spanish guys, all illegal aliens. Listen, we need to get them. We got to straighten this out. These people are being exploited. They're being used on job sites. They're stealing our work. Listen, we're not going to get anywhere being a nice guy in the room, okay? Back in the day, it was serious business, we got it, and I think it's happening now. They're cleaning up the stuff out there. They're working it. You could see it. These contractors are having a hard problem finding manpower now, which is a good thing for us. And I think it's going to pivot in our direction, and it'll get better as time go on. All right, what are we got? Listen, guys, the other thing too, listen, the council operates in a different way, right? I worked with Elisa Gilbert. She was a good friend of mine. She was a corporate attorney in Manhattan. Got together. She started an MWA minority-owned business. I was trying to help her out with the business, get things going. Probably one of the most smartest women I've ever met in my life. Very intelligent. She was nothing but an asset to this union. She came down. She had people who waged for it. Talked to members that were having problems. They needed her, and then when I ran for office, they backdoored. They tried to make false slides about her. She walked away. She don't care. I mean, listen, she's living a billionaire's life. Trust me, she's living a great life. Her boyfriend Paul is literally a multi-billionaire. Guy's loaded, got more money than what to do with. But she saw what happened here firsthand and what they were willing to do. Perfect example is Pete Corrigan. Pete Corrigan's a friend of mine. I know Pete's dad for many, many years. I mean, guys in 608. There wasn't a fundraiser, picnic, or anything that went down for anything that Pete's dad wasn't involved in, collecting money and helping people out with. Pete's highly intelligent. Kid's college educated, went to school, he's got a political science degree. He was a business agent. I sat in trucks with him, driving around the city. I remember Dave Cavalosa sitting there like a deer in headlights, had no idea what was going on in the city. Pete kind of took him under his wing and talked to him. If I'm not mistaken, John Corrigan, who helped him transfer into 608 and get him into the city when he was working non-union, I think on Long Island or something like that. But Pete did a lot. He worked with these contractors, sat down. I saw him do it. Guys are sitting there firsthand. I was sitting right next to him when he called the guy from labor manager at the council. He's like, listen, I'm helping a friend of mine. He's got a contracting company. We're trying to get work. Pete, he's getting some one-deal contract jobs in the city. And he talked to the guy from labor manager. And the guy said, well, Pete's like, am I missing anything? Is there anything out that I should be looking at and bidding at? He's like, well, Pete, we're really not looking at that stuff. You would know better than we would. Pete's like, excuse me? Like, you're an organization. You're the biggest union organization probably in New York City. And you're telling me I know more? And it really is kind of scary, because I got to tell you guys, sometimes I think I know more than them. I got to call them and let them know what's going on, you know? Um, we don't have the guys walking the job sites. You know, I walked on job sites recently. I asked guys, I said, you know, when's the last time you saw shops do it? He's like, Mike, it's been over a decade. I said, I mean, a business agent, a fucking decade. You know, we had Tommy McEwen walk on a job one time, and guys right to his face is like, yo, I've been in the business 25 fucking years. The one guy goes right to his face, sorry, I've been running work for 25 years, and I've never seen you before in my life. That's something to be said, guys. That's scary. Like, you know, that tells you something. Like, this is the type of work you got to have a passion for. You don't do it for the paycheck, because if you know, you got to be a little bit out of your mind. It's like running for office, guys. You got to be out of your mind. Like, you don't do this for the money. You don't do this for the thing. You do it because you actually give a shit. That's what you got to do. Unless you got a payday like some people, then I guess you want to roll the dough. But to put yourself involved in this, you got to be willing to be a little off your rocker to get involved in this shit. But Pete, listen, Pete did a lot for everybody, guys. He listen. I got to tell you, I never met a guy, even when he was down and out, and they said he told an apprentice where to shape a job. That's his crime of the century, guys. He told him where to shape the job. That's the thing the story about. So, you know, what's the difference between a referral and me putting you a job and calling the guy up and saying, Scotty, I'm sending Timmy to the job. He'll be there at 7 o'clock. I can put him on. To me, that's a referral. Me just saying, hey guys, there's work at 52nd Street and 8th Avenue. There's a job there. You know, go over there and. ARC is a company. That's not a job. I'm not giving you any direction. I'm not referring you. I'm telling you where there's a new job going on. But whatever. Listen, powers to be, they were threatened by him, and that's what happens. Dirty politics and how people play it. They want to clean. Listen, nobody wants people around them that are going to take them out. So insecure people are like that, you know. Guys like me, listen, I want strong people around me, right? I want to bring in people that know more than me in some cases. I bring something to. I know what I bring to the table, okay? And I know what I lack, and I want to get the people that make me more rounded. Because my main concern is I want to make us a killing machine. I want us out there on every level. And I'm going to tell you guys, listen, if it isn't working, we're going to change it. But the one thing we're going to do right off the top, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to let these BAs and organizers get the job done, right? These stupid meetings they do at the council, we're going to change all that, guys. We're going to do everything virtual, just like we're doing now. Everyone's going to get locations. We're going to hit these jobs. We're going to be boots on the ground. We're going to be hitting these public works jobs. We're going to enforce these contracts. We're going to make sure that we're getting back our work. We're not going to leave any stone unturned. And we're going to let the word out that, trust me, when these contractors know that we mean business, it doesn't take much, guys. They're all going to fall in line. We just got to get out there and set the narrative. We're not going to go out there like fucking busting heads, but we're going to go out there letting them know that there's a new sheriff in town and we're expecting people to abide by the contract. And that's it. No more, no less, guys. Listen, a lot of you guys called me up with the Commodore issues, what was going on. From what I understand, they went under the other day. They're still out there. They're doing something. And guys are calling me up. Am I going to get my benefits and pension? Guys, I'll be honest with you, it's not looking good. It's not looking good, you know. I moved a lot of yous around. I hooked you up with some other contractors. The ones that are hanging in there, you know, that's your personal choice. I'm not going to tell you what to do and what not to do. You know, there's no guarantee on the benefit thing. You know, fill in your missing stamp forms, keep your fingers crossed, and let's hope. I think Commodore had some good guys behind them. They got a little too big, and you know, they took a hit, and that happens. You know, I've been in this business a long time. I've seen some big companies make it, and you know, big companies fall. You know, when I got in business, there's some big companies out there that don't exist anymore. But anyway, I got a very large question here, guys. That was sent to me. So let me just start here with it, right? And we'll try to narrate it, and we'll try to listen, Amy Carey, if you're watching this, get a pen and paper out because you can answer this question at the next meeting. Okay, I'll get up and read this at the meeting if it helps you. Okay, Frank Spencer from the board of the National Benefits Power Broker with no zero oversight. Okay, despite the quiet departure from the UBC General Executive Board, Frank Spencer has resurfaced as a new, potentially more dangerous role as the CEO of Level Care Pharmacy, a Nevada-based company that is now in control and national prescription plan for the United Brotherhood of Carpenters, with no federal oversight and no independent monitoring. So guys, think about it. Who's texting me now? Oh, someone said they already posted it. They can read it. All right, guys, so basically this is the post, right? So, sources confirmed that Levitt Care has been quite awarded. Okay, benefit funds across the United States. Benson's company is now being positioned to expand into broader benefits. Administration's signaling higher risk, consolidation, control over union members' health care welfare funds. Now, this is something I brought to you guys last year, maybe over a year ago, right? I told you I was called a liar, guys. This is scary, guys. This is scary. You put these guys in power, man. They got the money coming in. How do you maximize profits? And I'm going to post up some the paperwork from Seattle, guys. I got the paperwork where I'll post it on the site. Y'all guys, I'll have it up tonight, or I'll have it up first thing in the morning. I have it in my files. Somebody sent it to me. After the merger, it was like around July. They sent out an email. I got the letter. Came from the thing. Everyone's retirement medical was canceled. They gave them 6 months. So it was like July by January 1st, all medical was canceled. Once again, guys, I'm not saying it's happening to us, but you're going to give that power away to a bunch of people who can make that decision. So if you guys trust the entire Northeast Regional and you want to pull these boys, like the guy from Capona called me the other day, listen, I wish you well, bro. Listen, if you're Paulie's boy, listen, Paulie just had a great time out in Vegas. And if you're Paulie's boy, you probably would have been out there in Vegas with Paulie. But listen, hey, everybody believes something in life. Sometimes we all believe everyone's our friend. And it's like being in a bad relationship, sometimes you think your wife or your girlfriend's out getting milk, and then later on you find out she's banging the neighbor. You don't know, guys. That's just the way it is, right? But everyone thinks they married an angel, Listen, I worked in nightclubs and parties my whole life, guys. They're not all angels, guys. I've seen some crazy things out there. But the same concept, guys. You say to yourself, is he doing the right thing for us? They're in a different league than us. So, this has been posted, guys. It talks about the prescription pan. Someone just said they posted it, so I don't have to read it to you. It says a consolidation introduced with a UBC National Convention this week. The delegates, remember, no vote, no financial disclosures, no resources, protected local benefit structures. So this is just being dumped on us, guys. This is just another tactic that they just do. Just take it as it is, right? This is amazing, guys. This is amazing that they pulled this off. But this is how the business works, right? This is in every industry, guys. There's always some scamming shit going on somewhere. But this is your money, It says expenses already implemented in years of union manipulation and mob-linked appointments while serving as UBC First General President is now in position to control billions in prescription drugs flow of healthcare spending unchecked by any external monitor. It's great that they got rid of the monitor guy. Glenn McGordy, good job, guys. Listen, get out of here. You don't want to be around this thing. I wouldn't want to be about it. They talk about a forensic audit, the whole 9 yards, history of the associated with South Jersey, boss, it talks about the mob ties and everything like that, political corruption. Hey, listen, guys, this is all stuff we've heard before, right? I guess we'll have to all read it and see what's about. Like I said, I was told this is given immediate questions for federal investigators and journalists. Why is the former top UBC executive, no political criminal ties, being entrusted with a national plan administrative? This is going to be a problem. I mean, I don't know. Maybe McCarron's got enough pull out there. He can bury this, They seem to shelf a lot of shit out there, guys. This is a tough one to play out. I hear a lot of guys scream corruption every time, but I don't see stuff happening too quick. But listen, if we all get behind this and we push, I think we can make enough of a voice where we can put a stop to this. This scares me, guys. This shows you that there's some sneaky shit going on behind the scenes. I just find it hard to believe that they're trying to come in and save us more money, right? They're going to save us money with a pension, and they're going to save us money with this. Like I always say, con men don't come and rob you with a gun, right? They come in and they rob you with some quick talking, and they tell you, listen, Madoff didn't come in and tell everyone they get quick rich schemes is what he came in, right? He convinced them that everything was going to go good. Nothing to worry about. I got you back. I got everything for you. Just kind of like Paulie's video, but just put Madoff's face in front of it. The same concept, right? Paulie's telling us that everything's going to be good. Don't worry about it. I got this. I'm not going to let anything happen to you, right? I'm pretty sure Madoff told the same thing to everyone else. How did that work out for all the guys in the Northeast, right? That's why they want our pension money, because Madoff fucking sold them a bunch of bullshit. Now they got Paulie selling us a bunch of bullshit, right? It's the same concept, guys. Do you buy it when 98% funded, right? I think they talked about a couple of years ago. They said by the year 2030, we're going to be 100% funded. Why would we get involved with anyone else's funds? For what reason? For what reason? Why would you want more people involved and more people calling the shots? It's something that we already control and we already have a high stake earnings on. Listen, We bought that building. That building's tremendous revenue, like Paul said in his video, and I agree with him with that. And we should be reinvesting in that building. We should be putting those 19 stores on top of the building. But you know what, Paul? If we make this merger, I don't think that happens. You don't get to say it. I don't get to say it. And the trustees, right now, Paulie's got these trustees in his pocket, right? He's got his Picaro and his Anthony Medea. Believe me, those two guys wouldn't wipe their fucking ass without Paul's permission. I watch these BAs on it. They're afraid to move it up Paul. That Paul operates. Paul's a dictator. Everybody knows it. Paul, I'm not trying to insult you, Paul, but it's known. Guys talk about you being a dictator. And he put these guys for a reason. They were all in charge of these super PAC funds. Very shady shit went on with these super PAC funds. Money was moved around. That's being investigated too. Whatever happens with that, who the fuck knows? Who knows if anything ever comes to it? But maybe they can bury it long enough and it doesn't make a difference. But once again, handing the keys over to somebody else and letting them drive your Ferrari, that's a problem, guys. Listen, I'm a big motorcycle guy. I've been riding bikes my whole time. There's certain guys I let ride my bike, other guys I won't. It's just the way it is. Some guys, my bike's never been down, knock on wood, right? I never dumped my bike. I've just been riding for so many years. I'm good at what I do. God bless. I'm telling you that now. Next time I'll be dumping it next week. But some guys are like, they gotta take my bike for a ride. Just, listen. Back when I was younger, guys would turn bikes on, they dump it. You're not taking my bike because I don't trust certain people. It's just not that I don't trust the person. I don't trust their skills. And if they dump that fucking bike, they'll just leave me stranded. If I go, Mike, your bike fell, that's it, and they walk away. Listen, I had a guy one time, he borrowed one of my bikes, he dumped it, called me up, he's like, Mike, listen, blah, 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 I had a couple of drinks, let's take the bike out. He came to my house, what do you want for the bike? I'm like, no, we'll get it fixed. He's like, Mike, what do you want for the bike? What was it? And he gave me like a couple $1,000 more than the bike was worth. He's like, don't worry about it, I'm going to get it fixed. I'm taking the bike from you, I'm going to get it fixed. And that was it. He took the bike, and that was the end of it. But there's not all stand-up guys like that. Some guys who just walk away. And, listen, I've had guys borrow tools from me, and they bring them back all fucked up. We've all had that. So, they do it with good intentions, but at the end of the day, some people have different roles than we do. So we have to look past that. We have to understand who we're dealing with. Let's see what else we got going here. We got questions coming in. Yeah, no, there's no link, guys. The link didn't work. All right. Let's just see if you guys had any questions up here that I missed. Oh, we do. I think we do. Hold on, guys. Let me get back to you. Obviously, I'm talking away here, and I'm not looking at what's going on here. Let's see. Here we go. All right, guys. Past McGinnis warned me. They robbed in the litter box. Members should have the right to hear. Yeah, members should. Well, the delegate thing, they're going to say it's union business, guys, and they're going to say you can't have it on there. Listen, they don't want you to know. I'd love to know what happened in the private room upstairs and what they talked about. One guy sent the question about the medical and why it costs so much. Listen, I can't answer all those questions. I do understand we're investing a lot of money in it. Medical's the most expensive thing for any union or any person that's trying to do stuff like that. I guess the funds, how we operate, who's getting paid in there, and can we streamline it? Can we lower what's our expenditures on that? I think so. But I'd be able to tell you that until I get in the building. Listen, I get in there, nothing's left off the table. We're going to look at everything. We're going to figure out how to save money on the back end and how to use that money on the forefront to get more organizers, to get boots on the ground, to train more foremen and supers. We got to figure out where we're missing and where we're falling short and how we can get these contracts back on. Now, listen, guys, there's some things out there we're going to have to do that are not going to make guys happy. Like I told you guys before, listen, there's some of this, you guys all talk about this affordable housing, right? And some of you guys want to dance around it. That affordable housing you want, keep in mind, guys, you're not going to get that at the numbers, all right? There's going to be very low numbers to get that work. How we're going to do it is going to be we're going to have to really dig down and figure out what the numbers are out, where we can get it. My buddy gave me some information that we got to start bidding this work. As we bid this work, we bring the numbers up. Right now, if you got a bunch of guys bidding it and they're all non-union contractors, the numbers say low. We need to get a couple of people to start bidding the number, because who's ever bidding the low number and they keep losing the job, they're going to look and see how much they lost a job by percentage-wise, right? And then they go, oh, God, I lost his job. This guy was 60% higher than me. He's like, fuck that. I'm going to raise my number 20%. So I can get 24. So little by little, that guy raises, and that's how you get the number back up. But if we don't have guys bidding the number, these guys keep getting these low numbers, you know. I just had a guy tell me today, an electrician guy, he was telling me some work he was doing out in Bridgehampton or something like that. Some guy tried to get him, the other company's got some guy working at the back of a pickup truck or a car, doing electrical work, and he wanted him to take $30,000 off the bid. Meanwhile, he's got to drive over to Bridgehampton every day to do the work. He's like, fucking have the other guy do the work. I can't do it for you, you know. So anyway, with that being said, listen, guys, we're gonna figure out where we're going to go after this work. And that's going to be, the merger means something, but I hate to shine the light on it for you guys and disappoint you, but the man hours are down a lot. They're not talking about it right now, but they're down. If we don't correct that, we don't have to worry about this merger to lose retirement medical or lose our dental and eyeglass. We're going to lose it because we don't have the man hours to keep it running. So we have to reevaluate what we're doing and change it. We don't have any high-rise work going on in the city. All the concrete work, you look around the city skyline is all non-union. Who's doing this work? How did this happen? It makes you so wonder. Like, we weren't dealing with this 30 years ago when I came in the industry. So, we got to figure out what we could do to get that back. And we can't. Obviously, what we're doing now is not working. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna come up with new plans. I got guys. I got ideas. I'm not gonna say certain things here because we can't say it on. We don't want to say it. I want to say in a closed room with no cameras around. Let's put it like that. But we gotta find a way. How about keeping the medical fund? This way the members in good standing aren't getting hours. They lose their family medical. The idea with the banked hours is a great thing, right? We got to keep our banked hours in it. We got to find a way. I'll cover this one point and I'll let you guys go for 40 minutes into this. The backbone of this industry is the family man. Okay, guys. I watched it through my whole career. Guys that come to work every day, it's a guy with his wife at home, 2 kids. That guy's coming to work every day. He's going to show up no matter what. He's your most reliable guy in the job. Been on jobs, sub-zero weather. I worked with Dougie O'Grady back in the day. He was getting married, freezing cold out. He could tell you the story. I looked over, all you saw was his eyes sticking out of the hat. His hands were freezing like this, freezing here. I had to give him an extra set of gloves. He'll tell the story about it. Freezing cold. And guys are like, Sharpie. I was a shop steward on that job. And I did all the heavy framing. I was with some great guys in that job. I had Joe Henschel, Joey DeKell. Actually, he's my best friend's brother-in-law, if anyone doesn't know that. And I got him out of 290, and I transferred to Queens on that job. And he ended up becoming a trustee in that local, very well known. But we were on that job. It was freezing cold out. And everyone's like, they wanted to go home. And I was like, listen, guys, you want to stay, you stay. I'm not going to make you stay, but you guys went home. Some guys went home. But the guys who had the kids at home and needed the money, they're going to stay. That's just the way it is in this business. So to have those guys in this industry, what do you need to get them? And I've told this before. You need a good annuity, pension, medical, and retirement, right? You start tweaking with those numbers, we're going to have a problem because those guys, the backbone guys in this business, when they go to work every day, they're not going to stick around. They're going to find another avenue. They're going to find another opportunity. And the really good guys find other opportunities. And that's the problem. So we got to be very, very careful on what we take away from our members. Because I was on the phone with a guy, he's he's the vice president of a big GC company in the city. And he said to me, he goes, the production numbers are down. Like, we're not getting the same production numbers we're getting today that we were getting 10 years ago. And that's the reason why. Like I told you guys, we're taking these highly skilled guys and they're retiring, they're getting in the industry or leaving the industry, and they're not there to train the guy with eight years in the business. So, I'd say you need about 10, 12 years before you pick up, but it depends on who those 12 years are. If you're working in one part of the industry, to become a blended carpenter and work a lot, you got to get that opportunity. And when work is slow, it's hard to move around. And I don't blame anybody. You figure out, you find a good spot, you try to keep your head down and stay in that one spot and stay out of the radar and keep working. So there's a lot of things we can fix, guys, I can't do it without being in the building, and you can't fix anything without being on the ninth floor. Listen, they're all out in Vegas this last week, and believe me, they had some great steak dinners and spent some big money and had a lot of cocktails, and a lot of the old boys were out there. I saw pictures with Graf was out there. I saw Sheehy out there. I saw Mike Cavanaugh was out there. They're all out there. All the fucking old timers. They were all out there hanging out, drinking, partying, having a great time, guys. They were all fucking living it up. It's a party. You didn't get an invitation, but they did. Listen, they all have something involved in it. They got their nephew's jobs, and like the other guy got their son a job as a new business agent. You just look at the thing. They all got paid. They all got jobs at the council. It's not like they put the job out to the right people. And like I said, the most accredited person for the job. They put the person out there they wanted to get the job. So when you're dealing with stuff like that, it is what it is. It's a party, guys, and you didn't get an invitation. So always keep that in mind. So if you think you're a Paulie boy, listen, good luck with that. If you think we're heading in the right direction, by all means, guys, vote for Paulie. If you think Game and Carry is what you want, and you think he's the right guy, then vote for Paulie. That's it. That's the guy you want. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. Listen, if you think a lapdog like Game and Carry, if you think a guy like that has got it figured out, and most of the guys that know Eamon knows who he really is. He's a fucking lapdog. Everyone knows it. They used to call him the bishop, the keeper of elves. That's what they used to call him when I was starting. They used to call him the keeper of elves. That was what they used to call him. Listen, Joe Firth, all the guys used to talk about him. I mean, even fucking Martin Devereaux fucking knew he was a hat rack. But listen, I always gave the guy that benefit of the doubt, but I see him for years. But listen, that guy never met a knob he didn't like, I'll tell you that much. But it is what it is, guys. We just have to, that's what you're dealing with. That. If you guys believe those guys like you did the last time, and they told you, when I turned around and said the provisional rate was going to the wall and seal, and they told me no, and they did it anyway. Right after the election, boom, went in there. They took away the stewards' right to doing it. I told you they were going to do it. And the stewards can't work for the 39 hours a month. They did it. Listen, there's talks about changing the hourly rate, the percentage of hours for the provisionals now. Right now, you're at 10,000 hours. There's talks guys out there raising that number, all right? So if you're an apprentice right now, or a provisional, right, I want you to keep this in mind. They're going to deny it, because that's what they do. They like to lie about things, all right? Going to tell you, it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. Sure enough, guys, listen to me. A year from now, you'll be telling me, holy fuck, these guys are really fucking... Listen, just guys. They're talking about raising those hours. So I don't know if it's going to be 1,200 hours or 1,500 hours. They want to raise the provisional hours. I guess they want to figure a way to... Dude, if they raise that, let's just say the hypothetical crazy number, I heard 1,500 hours. Let's just say the number I heard was right? 15,000 hours. Let's say that number's true. And a guy worked 1,500 hours a year, and you were a provisional guy, you would have to do 15 years before you made it to certified journeyman rate. Let's hope what I heard was a total lie, because God bless all you if they do that. I think the 10,000 hours is ludicrous, and what they do to our apprentices, you're doing an apprentice and putting that time in. Now, when I was an apprentice back in the day, I came a journeyman, you were a journeyman. Now you got to make those hours up, and these rough times, try to forget it. Imagine adding another 5,000 hours. Oh my God. There'll be guys jumping out windows. How are people supposed to survive? How are people supposed to save to own a house? People just leave. Like, you come into an industry, you work in the business, you're like, all right, I'm going to join a union so I can have a pension and an annuity and take care of my family. But if you're going to have this, then what's the fucking point? I'll just go frame houses down on the Florida Keys and make my $200-300 a day. Like, why would I come here, right? Like, if I'm not going to get anything for it, then I'll just go work someplace else. And I might as well just go work non-union at that point, right? I mean, if you really think about it. But listen, if we don't control the market, guys, on what's going on, then we're never going to, the prevailing rate's not going to hold water either. And they're talking about the dock builders, guys. All your dock builders out there, the guys I've been talking to the last couple of weeks. Guys, keep in mind, man, they're talking about giving that work from Jersey. And you guys are telling me stories about what went on, and the guys from Pennsylvania came in and they got to work on the job site. It was our jurisdiction. They put them there, and those guys didn't have to do picket duty. So fucked up deals went on behind the sign. Guys, they want to give that away from you. And you got Brian McLaughlin out there working deals out. Supposedly he's retired. This is another guy looking to cut a deal and screw us over. So, when you look at these things that are going on, if we lose that jurisdiction in New Jersey, we can't give that up. You don't give anything up. You fight for it, You're very quick to just hand things over. Makes me wonder, like, what's in it for them? Like, there's something fishy going on here, guys. I can't put my finger on it, and I can't figure out what it is, but that's up to you guys to make a decision and figure out, what's going on here? Why would they want to give up stuff that benefits us? I don't know, guys. You tell me. Is there something in it for them? I don't know. Are they following their marching orders? I mean, listen, Tommy Flynn packed in and he left. He retired, right? Something happened. I got stories. I'm not going to spring Tommy Flynn stories on here, but listen, guys, I'm almost 50 minutes into this thing. We're getting crazy. I'm getting some texts from people that are going too long, so I don't want to push you guys onto too far with this. But listen, guys, this is a little taste. I just got a text message. Well, you guys are told. I know Paul's got COVID. I don't know if it's out there yet, but supposedly Paul has COVID. It's, we're going to have to see what he has to say with his meeting and what's out there, and we'll address the questions afterwards. So between now and his next meeting, guys, listen, I'll do another podcast. I'm going to do a podcast with Mike Biella, like I promised you guys. I'm in the works of setting that up now. and I'll get that up and going soon. So let's see what Paul has to say. Let's see what he wants to tell us. From what I understand, the BAs were out the other day telling everyone how this merger, aka the consolidation, is a good thing, and that us giving up our rights and letting other people into our pockets and figuring out what to do with our money is a good thing. So if you guys buy that and that's what you guys want, then by all means, Paulie's the guy you want. Then those are the guys you want. But if you want to keep everything in house and you don't want to give up your pension, give up your medical, or the possibility of someone making a decision what to happen at 395 Hudson Street, then vote for me. That's all I got to tell you guys. Because I'm in this for a reason. I'm in it to win this time. Right? We're not playing around, guys. With the gloves are off, we're going to get dirty. We're going to get deeper down on what has to be said. But I bring it on, and I hope we can do. I'm more than happy to sit down with Paul. Paul wants to set something up with the district council. Me and him in a room. We could do a podcast like this. Paul, make it happen, guys. You got my invitation. I'm willing to do it if you're willing to do it. Let's sit down. Let's clear the air. I'll do it on your ground in your building. You guys set it up, and it's got to be a live feed, not pre-recorded. All right. I want a live feed so the members can see it. All right. I don't want anything being pre-cut and chopped out. I did a live feed here. We say it like it is. And if anybody wants to come here and do it with me, you're more than welcome to. All right. Someone's got something to say, please touch base with me. I could set you up at my house. We could do it here. We could do it someplace else. I got some modular equipment. We could do it there now. But I'm willing to help you guys out, whatever's got to be done. Because the bottom line is I want the members to have all the information possible so you guys can make the right decision. All right, guys, listen. Get the word out. This video will be posted on YouTube. I'll be sent it to you. I know it's long. We'll screenshot it down so you can guys get certain points you want to the members out there. Be safe on the job. All right, guys? The most important thing on a job site, and remember, the most important thing you guys do every day is make sure you work safe and make sure you get home to your loved ones and family, because that's what really counts, all right? The job will always get done. I learned that in my life. The job always gets done. But make sure you get home safe. That's the most important thing. I'll talk to you all soon, all right? Bye.